Click the links to join our channel here over at Subscribestar, now over at Odyssey, thanks to the 14 new members over there. So Alex Jones versus the serpent-controlled media. The takeaway from this is how desperate globalist media is to maintain control of the narrative. This is dealing with, he makes a simple little video game, and MSNBC is calling, or mainstream media in general, is very, very desperate to silence any diversity of thought, which is weird because usually when you have the better ideas, you're not afraid of that open marketplace. So we're at the point where you have the MSM arguing for censorship, which is weird because they're doing their thing because of the one of the 5 subclauses of the First Amendment. They've decided that billion-dollar corporate government-approved globalist shill media should be the only source of information, and you can trust those people who have a financial interest to the tune of, well, the whole industry is trillions of dollars, not billions. You can trust those people who have that financial interest more than you can trust independent media. Oh, that seems crazy. Yeah, obviously it's crazy. Wait, you're saying we should trust the mainstream media and the government? Oh yeah, absolutely. It's trustworthy now. But you guys are caught in lies like every month, manipulating the media. Like the mainstream media is always talking about disinformation and misinformation. And you look at the mainstream media, it's like, you guys have been caught manipulating the media for as long as we had social media. There's like you lie, you lie almost like you're caught in a pretty decent sized lie every month, or at least manipulating the narrative. And the mistakes, oh sorry, we made a mistake. Yeah, but they're only against the right wing and to push a globalist narrative. That's not a mistake. That's bias. When it's 100% in one direction, you're not fooling anyone. It's like, that's why you want to censor any dissenting voices, because you're liars. You're just a den of filthy vermin. So the mainstream media has no problem pushing for censorship, and they don't see the issue with their right of speech should be protected. Their narrative should be out there, and we should censor anyone with a different opinion. It's like, oh, that seems like a really bad direction to go in. Like, if you need censorship to maintain control, welcome to Europe. So the open marketplace of ideas terrifies corporate global homogenization media because they have bad ideas that get destroyed under sunlight. If the right has free speech, we win. That's why it's important to do your part and fight these filthy Bolsheviks. The media, the globalist useful idiots of the head serpent, I guess he who must not be named, apparently, or maybe you'll get demonetized. We're trying to get social media. Oh no, he lost $1 on the video. They're trying to get social media to silence people to protect their global democracy. Well, then if it needs censorship, it needs to be destroyed. Hey, sometimes the videos, I think a video got up to $8 once. So a system of government without free speech isn't worth saving. It's a fragile system propped up by lies because the truth doesn't fear investigation. The modern MSM is something now dark and evil. It's the mouthpiece and control system of the Bolsheviks. If you claim to be the media and you call people who disagree with your billion-dollar propaganda machine the purveyors of misinformation, and for democracy you need to censor them, then you're trying to control a narrative for nefarious purposes. Yes, you should probably take a closer look at the media and go, oh, these are evil people. No, I would not trust a billion-dollar media company who's tied to big, we'll call it farming industry, where they're growing crops. Yeah, they're growing a whole farm load of bone gardens, we'll call them, or BlackRock and military contractors to give fair, unbiased news. That's insane. If I would trust those people who have, again, a financial interest at stake here. That's the first thing you ask is who benefits, and follow the money. And you're looking at these big farming, military, corporate, government, media conglomerates all spiderweb together. And the thing is, it wasn't that long ago when the left wing was very focused on the military industrial complex, when there was a person with an R after his name who was focused on fomenting discord in the Middle East. But as soon as it switches to a D, they get very, very silent. Oh, no, you understand. Those are drone strikes of peace. And now the military-industrial media complex, with now the addition of farming thrown in there, that's fine. That's fine. So all those protest songs, Slater, Kinney, Combat Rock, and Tool, and the rest under Bush, those are cool. But then under Obama, it was just silence for 8 years. Oh, that's weird. That's weird. And then under who's the guy in office now? The guy in office now is not the guy in office. It's his cabinet that's running, pulling the strings on that. It's like, oh, so these wars are fine. That's fine now. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. Don't do anything to hurt the narrative. So the thing with censorship is you're always putting the decision in someone else's hands. Nina Jankowicz, literally at the Ministry of Truth, to determine what is a capital T truth. Animal Farm in 1984 and Brave New World and Fahrenheit 451. Those weren't guidebooks. Oh, you're kidding, right? Because we've been, yeah. It's like those are our to serve man. It's a cookbook. So I trust the person with the Kindle and the cell phone making videos in his dining room for donations. Thank you. You've all been very generous. More than $1 billion media corporate government machine, and the fact that the MSM is desperately trying to shut down independent media means that they're lying to you, either for profit or, even worse, to push a narrative. Sometimes, in the case of Disney and those other kind of companies like that, when it hurts their bottom line, which should terrify you, because motive for money you can understand. Motive for ideology is much, much more dangerous. And that's where this $1 trillion machine is right now. And it's odd that not more people in the MSM are speaking up for free speech. Well, it's not really odd once you kind of understand what's going on. Hey, Serpent Media or Nina Jankowicz, why exactly are you trustworthy and independent media isn't? Why do the globalists get to determine what ideas we're allowed to contemplate? That sounds like obvious manipulation to me. Won't the MSM just use their control to advance their own interests? The media and government get caught outright lying and manipulating the stories to push fake news all the time, and the audacity of them wanting to be the arbiters of truth is insane. The Bolsheviks went after Jones to send a message to other people that they have the power to silence dissent, and if you get too big, they'll try to crush you out. And to be fair to Jones, it hasn't stopped him, but the social media controls the other branch of the public discourse. Google, Facebook, and Twitter, those three companies, control like 90% of the discussion. And one would think our representatives would guarantee us free speech on the net, and one would be wrong. The government and the media are terrified of free speech because it puts us in the position of countering their lies. The government and media are the bad guys. They need censorship to survive, but the truth is like a weed. The need for it created alt media, BitChute, Odyssey, Gab, Telegram, which the mainstream media immediately tried to shut down in the name of protecting their democracy, which is a weird way of saying dictatorship. Are you going to vote your way out of this? Oh, no, absolutely not. That ship has sailed. Form exercise clubs and spiritual centers before they try to make them illegal, which the Dems are actually doing right now. Oh, that's weird because it's like the Second Amendment you're trying to outlaw. I mean, it kind of seems like this is the government the Founding Fathers warned us about. Watch out, buddy. The FBI will come down and kill everyone in your house and probably your neighborhood. Oh, then it's definitely the government the warned us about. So part of the story is Oliver Darcy, who has a countenance of that of the lower vermin, and Jones said he looked like a possum coming out of the rear end of a dead cow, which he does. That's actually truthful reporting of a story. He does look like someone caught doing something very evil, and social media used that as an excuse to censor him because having a dozen globalist companies controlling the marketplace of ideas turned out to be a really bad idea. Oh, hey, we're going to need some free speech on social media and the internet in general. We're going to need our representatives to step up for us and apply that First Amendment much more broadly to protect individual liberties instead of $1 billion companies. You look at our representatives, they're like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We don't want free speech. We just want your money. This is the end stage of a country where they're funneling money from the Treasury as fast as possible to take it out of USD and put it into something else. Anyway, so Elon Musk came along and threw a monkey wrench into their plans, and the media is in a perpetual state of salty, sandy vagina because free speech terrifies them. And there's actually another story about the Gab AI over at Gab with Torba that the media experts say is too dangerous to be released. And you look at it and you say, hey, these aren't experts because there's no such thing as a artificial intelligence free speech. Guys, I am an AI free speech expert. Your favorite woman of color over here. These are just media mouthpieces pushing for censorship. Guys, this isn't democracy. This is anal sex. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I hope Vegan is feeling better. He's had a couple of down days. I know what it's like being in the hospital. God, it sucks. I was in there for a while. I was so depressed, and then I talked to a bunch of people, Vegan and Rollo, and then some IRL people, and then I talked to the nurses and doctors, and it turns out everyone had things that were worse than me, like legitimately. And I was going, I'm just being kind of a pussy. And my buddies go, no, your experience is yours. And I looked around like everyone had stuff worse, way worse than me. And it actually put me in a much better mood because I realized I was just being a pussy when everyone's like, I had the procedure done like 5 times and I had complications and infection. Yeah, I almost died on the table. But no, it's fine for you to be bummed out over a couple days in the hospital. I'm like, okay then. Anyway, I hope you feel better, Vegan. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys all next episode.